This is the Cedar Little tournament, and this is the first round of the actual bracket. Um, the pool play just finished, and right now we have Quantum Penguins versus the individual team. The individual team finished third in the B pool, and Quantum Penguins finished second in the A pool. So they're versing each other for an attempt to get to, what would that, I guess, be the semifinals, where they would actually verse my team, the Rip in Pieces. So, yeah. So this would be a fun match. I think it's actually going to be pretty close, from what I was able to tell from these two teams. Could be a lot of fun. So hopefully we get some good games in here. This is actually best of 3 games. So it's not just one game like all the pool play was. It's best out of 3. So we'll see who wins, who moves on, and the other team will be eliminated. There's no
losers bracket.
Second bracket. Yeah, there's no losers bracket in this tournament. So they'll be eliminated. So yeah, should be a fun match.
So we'll go ahead and tell them, because my stream was down when you and I were watching the end of it, but Quantum Penguins just came out of it was almost a 1-hour game, right?
Yeah, it was like a 58 minute game, I think.
Very
really
close.
Very close.
Yeah. Both teams had at least 8 towers down at the end of it, I think.
Yeah.
They were both within. Well, at the end, when Quantum Penguins got the ace in order to finish it, they were up by 6 kills, I think. But when we first tuned in, they were up by a kill, maybe.
Yeah, it was like less than 1,000 gold difference. It was really close.
Yeah.
The teams, it was going back and forth. The two big team fights I saw, like Quantum won, and then they were versing We Always Cedarville, I believe. The next team fight went to them, and so it was kind of back and forth, and then eventually, Quantum Penguins won, which gave them the 2nd seed. We Always Cedarville is over versing Random Access Memory, and Quantum Penguins is now versing the individual team. So I think it should be good. I'm going to take a quick look at just the different champions that these teams have been playing as we get into champion select here. First, it's going to start off with a ban phase, where High Shadow, the captain of Quantum Penguins, and I guess Lighthawk, who's acting as the captain of individual team, will do the bans versus each other.
We got a Thresh ban. We've seen that a couple times today. That's pretty standard now.
Highly contested champion.
Yeah.
A lot of supports really like him because you can make big plays, and not a lot of supports offer to that. Same with Leona. They're getting banned by Quantum Penguins. Both of those are just big playmaker champions, and Udyr is an odd champion. I'm gonna take a look. That seems like an odd champion to ban. Maybe
it does.
Maybe the individual team knows something we don't know, because that seems odd.
Well, the individual team seems to be really focusing the jungle play there.
Yeah, definitely. Vi is fairly normal. It's a common jungle pick. Udyr slightly strange, and it doesn't even look like Quantum Penguin has played Udyr once.
Udyr is extremely annoying, though. So
I mean, I understand that. I agree. But unless you know the other team can play Udyr either top or jungle, I don't know if it's really worth a ban. But that's just an interesting pick. Maybe they just really dislike it. Same with Fizz. That's another champion that a lot of people just don't like having to deal with, so they just get it out of there.
You know what I just realized we could do? We could actually do a video Skype call, and we could have both of our faces up on the stream.
We don't. That would be weird.
I would start moving you around.
I would hate for my devilish good looks to get in the way of this amazing League of Legends that is going to take place here.
I would start moving your face around the screen. I'd be
all
like,
over the screen.
I'd be like, Paul, look down right now. All the action's down to the right.
What's happening down there? Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
All right, so we see Quantum Penguins grabbing Zac. They played Zac last game, and I don't know what you think of Zac, but Zac to me is just a weird, he hasn't been played in like 6 months, really, at all.
No.
The fact that they played him last game and this game, they're confident with him. I mean, they won, last game, so I can't argue with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems like an odd jungle pick. I play jungle, and I do not play Zac anymore. I used to, but he's kind of out of date. A little
Yeah.
bit, but
He's
he's still
dropped off.
strong.
But what really dropped him off of that? I mean, there wasn't a huge
Yeah, I don't know.
nerf to him,
I mean, it's a good point. There wasn't really any nerfs to him. I think there was a nerf to his passive at one point, but it's not really a big deal.
Oh, you know what? I know what it was. It was the moment that they switched the bloblets. Remember when you attacked, the bloblets used to always come fly back towards you, so they were always easy to
Oh yeah,
collect.
there was that.
And they nerfed it so then now they're random, and sometimes they're so far away you just can't get that health regen from
Yeah.
the bloblets.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Zac has a passive that whenever he does an ability, a little chunk of him falls off and he loses a little bit of health, but the chunk lands on the ground, and then if he goes and picks up that chunk, he gets a little bit of health back, and it helps him a lot, just kind of keeping healthy, going around and collecting these chunks, and so that's kind of how he maintains this thing. But looking, it looks like we already see our mid lane matchup. It's an Anivia versus Ziggs. That's interesting. That could be an interesting matchup to look at. It's a lot of skill shots. Anivia a lot more passive than Ziggs, so I think Ziggs is probably going to bully Anivia a lot, especially early game, low levels. Anivia doesn't have her full combo yet, and Ziggs is, I think, going to just dominate that lane. The Lucian pickup, strong AD carry, and if it got partnered with a Sona, that'd be decent. I don't know. I think there's better supports. Ooh, an Alistar support. Now that would be really strong with Lucian, I think. Just that all-in burst from Lucian with the combo with Alistar. That would be really, really cool to see. Now, I do actually know that Lighthawk plays a jungle Kha'Zix, so that's what I'm expecting. But maybe, although Lighthawk I don't think's been jungling so far this tournament. Do you know if he's jungled in our game? I don't remember. It looks like he did. Yeah. He played Vi in the first game, and he let's see, he played Jax and Aatrox. Yeah, he was the jungle Aatrox in our game. So yeah, so I'm expecting that Kha'Zix to be switched to Lighthawk, because I know that he plays a pretty good jungle Kha'Zix. So what do you I want you to talk a little bit about like the bottom lane, like Taric, Ezreal. That's like a classic.
That's kind of old school. That was back when I used to main Taric. I would play with a lot of Ezreals. You get that stun in there. You have Taric just go full force. You know, just put his head down and go after whoever it is. Try to absorb as many of the shots as possible with that armor buff. Obviously, he offers that to Ezreal as well with the kind of passive on that one ability. And then he actually has more damage than most people like to give him credit for, especially when he shatters that ability. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's been so long since I played Taric. Let's look it up. It's right here. That is not Taric. I just clicked on Garen. Taric's there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like,
it's called Shatter, so I'm glad I was calling it Shatter.
But like, what do you think versus an Alistar Lucian? How do you think a Taric Ezreal like needs to play the lane? Like, I feel like they almost need to play passive. Like, Taric might even need to level his heal more than usual. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Because I feel like normally Taric is aggressive with his stun, but against the Lucian Alistar, like, what's more aggressive than that?
I think both lanes are in trouble here where if that AD carry gets out of position even in the least bit, either team's going to be able to capitalize on it, because if that Ezreal's too far forward, then the Wombo combo from the Alistar, or even the reverse where he knocks him up and shoots him back, that's going to be game over for him. Yeah. Or if that Lucian dashes forward or is too far forward to get the Taric stun on him, that could be catastrophic for him as well. Both AD carries are very bursty AD carries. These aren't the prolonged, I'm just going to keep doing damage, sort of like a Caitlyn or like a Jinx does. They're very bursty AD carries.
One thing to note also, I think Lucian falls off a little earlier than Ezreal does. Ezreal is kind of considered a traditional hyper carry. In the late game, he's going to still be a huge factor. And not that Lucian isn't, but Lucian's really known for his mid and early game. And I think Ezreal kind of needs to just survive the early game and kind of try to wait it out. I don't know what these two guys are going to be building. I know whenever I play Lucian, I build Triforce. I don't know, maybe that's not conventional, but that's what I like to go. And I know some Ezreals like to go Triforce, some like to just rush a Bloodthirster traditional build. So I think we'll see. That'll be interesting. Another matchup to me that we need to keep our eye on. Oh my gosh, I just realized this Zac isn't jungle. This Zac is top.
Oh, it is a top.
I didn't even realize that. Wow, I'm blind. A Zac versus a Garen. That's gonna be the most passive lane in the world. They're just both, because Garen's got his passive, which is literally free healing. Zac has his passive, which is just healing. I feel like they're just gonna sit up there all day and farm. That's not gonna be the most exciting matchup in the world.
Who was the caster that I heard first say that? The wet noodle fight in the top.
The wet noodle fight. Yeah, I don't remember, but it's very true in this situation. Yeah, no one's gonna be dealing any damage. Well, they will be, but as soon as they deal it, the other person's gonna just heal it back up. The only difference is if a jungler goes up there and tries to make a difference in the lane.
Yeah, but again, I feel like those are both very tanky champions.
Yeah.
That all they're going to do is get bullied out of lane. I doubt we're going to see, unless Zac does some really poor judgment all in.
All in, yeah.
He gets caught. You're really not going to see much of kill potential up there. Just bullying out of lane to try to give your lane the advantage.
Yeah, it's all about farming. I think top lane, it's just going to be a farm fest where whoever gets the most farm is going to definitely win. I guess Garen, it's kind of nice he has a silence, which can kind of hurt Zac, because Zac has pretty low cooldown abilities that he likes to spam. So if they actually went 1 versus 1, toe-to-toe, Garen's silence would be a little helpful in that situation. But I don't think really either one has the upper hand there. Now, Lee Sin and Kha'Zix in the jungle. Like, I can speak about this a little bit. Kha'Zix is scary, especially low level. Like, the amount of damage he does low level, especially if you're isolated, he does a lot of damage. Right. Between like levels 1 and 4. But also Lee Sin is also known for being able to do low level ganks. So I'm expecting both of them to gank probably about level 3 or 4 after they get double buffs. They're just going to go aggressive because that's what they do. That's their big thing. That's why people pick them. So
I'm thinking if I were Kha'Zix, I would be looking for the mid gank early. Anivia doesn't have all that great of escape potential.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I'm seeing, and if I release Sin, I would probably be going for the bot lane gank early. That Ziggs does have the great peel with that satchel charge, or what is it called?
Yeah, the satchel charge. Yeah, Ziggs definitely has a better escape than
whereas
than Anivia. That's for sure.
Again, both these AD carries have either their flux to get out or their dash to get out, and so they're going to be tough.
Just to make sure you're on directed camera, right?
I am.
All right, it should keep us both. Like, are you looking at Kha'Zix right now?
No, I'm on Lee Sin.
Oh, really? So it doesn't keep us both on the same. That's annoying. I assume directed camera would be the same for you and for me.
Now I'm on Kha'Zix. Now when action starts, right now I really feel like it's just jumping around.
Okay.
When there's actually action, I feel like it'll.
But you're at like 55, right?
Yeah.
And now you're at 1 minute.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I haven't really done a lot of spectating, so. Okay, cool. So yeah, I agree. I think Kha'Zix should definitely gank mid, low level. I think that would be a big play for him. Did someone just disconnect? Did I miss that? No.
No.
Okay. I saw Ziggs recall and I heard something, so I thought maybe he disconnected.
This is the first polite beginning to a match that we've seen. So good luck, have fun. You too.
Wow. Yeah. Look at that. These people are actually being nice.
I'm not
That's
sure
polite.
What this Kha'Zix is doing. I'm gonna scroll over to him real quick. Oh, just dropping a word.
Yeah, just dropping a word. Yeah, neither team really. I mean, level 1, I guess blue team probably has the advantage. I don't know. Ziggs is really strong level 1, and so is Ezreal.
I'm a little surprised. I know that Lee Sin normally starts red, but because if I release Sin, I wanted to end up in the bot lane, I probably would have started blue.
Yeah, with the new jungle, it doesn't really matter who you're playing. You can start red or blue for the most part. Obviously, there's exceptions. You know, Gragas, movement, we're going to have to start blue, but most junglers can start either buff. And I agree. I think Lee Sin's... I mean, maybe he could get a gank off on Garen, but, I mean, what good is that going to do?
And he's gone from his red buff to his wraiths, which means that he's going for the long term. He's not going for a quick gank. He's looking to play it out in the jungle a little bit before he goes into lane.
Yeah, well, I've actually found, just jungling recently, that the time it takes if you finish a buff with a smite, the time it takes if you were to walk straight to the next buff, you would actually finish it right when your smite's coming up, which is what you don't want to do that, because you want to use the smite to finish it. Right. So yeah, he did one camp right after the first buff, and now is taking the second buff with his second smite, which is actually one of the faster ways to get a clear, where Kha'Zix is opting to just go straight. Oh, he took white, and now he's going to red buff. Alright, now we just, here we have just, top lane just trading back and forth. And
yeah, both of them sitting at about 50% health, but they'll start to regen that.
Yeah, Lee Sin coming up for a gank, though. This could actually make something. Oh, he had to burn his flash. That's a big deal.
I feel like that may not have been completely necessary, but it guaranteed he wasn't going to get killed. So.
Yeah, he probably could have gotten out, especially because Lee Sin missed the Q.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that was going to happen. So
now be careful.
A safe flash.
Kha'Zix started to come up like he was going to try to counter gank that, but then he turned back around to get his wraiths. I think he's hoping to get a little bit of an advantage in the farm game.
Yeah. What would be great for Kha'Zix, I think, at about this level, is if he met Lee Sin here.
He's close. He may be there.
1v1.
And there it is. There it is.
Although he was too low, he wasn't drinking enough health pots. Oh, he already went through all of his health pots. That's gonna be first blood for Lee Sin. That would have been a good trade if they had both been at equal health. I think Kha'Zix would have won, but because Lee Sin had more health than him at the beginning of that fight, he lost. But now Lee Sin is stuck in a situation he doesn't want to be in. Garen is chasing after him. Let's see if he can get the kill. Oh my gosh, he's trading a lot of damage back.
A lot of damage.
Garen, great. Now Zac. Zac is also in a bad situation. Anivia's coming up from mid lane, but I don't know what else she's going to be able to do.
Well, she may be able to fend him off. They may pop Zac's passive here.
That's true.
I don't know why Directive Cam took me back bot lane. That seemed exciting up top, but I think worst case scenario, if they had popped Zac's passive, Anivia probably could have kept them off while he reformed himself.
Yeah. But actually, I mean, I would say that trade, I mean, they made, that was really good of Ziggs to collapse on that in the top jungle. He allowed Garen to kind of get the return kill, kind of to answer the other team's kill.
Well, now they're only 200 gold behind, which is just the bonus for first blood.
Yeah, and Zac wasn't even able to really push the wave to top tower, so top lane didn't lose any farm, so they're doing fine.
Actually, they've actually closed it due to their farm.
Yep.
They're farming a little bit better, and they've closed in the gap to actually only about 100.
Yeah, if we're looking at farm, everything looks pretty equal. I'm just gonna move. Just so you know, you can drag champions around on the bottom, so they're actually matched with.
Wonderful to me.
Yeah, that is helpful. Anyway, so like farm is actually pretty equal all the way across the board. Lee Sin coming in bot, he's got a Q on Ezreal. He gets a slow, but a good stun by Taric holds him off. Oh, he gets the pulverize. What a great play by Alistar.
That's what we were talking about. All it takes is for one of them to be out of position.
That's exactly right. And the thing is, Taric had to. Oh, here we come in with Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix a little too aggressive. I feel like that was really ill-advised. It was still a 3-on-2, and at this point in the game, having already died once, he was already a little behind. I don't think that was a good move at all by Kha'Zix to come in. But yeah, like you were saying, because Taric had to use his stun on the Lee Sin that was kicking in, Alistar was able to just walk right in and take Ezreal out, just like you were talking about. Now it does actually look like top lane, Garen's got the advantage a little bit.
Well, with that double buff, he's able to push out a lot more damage than Zac's able to push out.
That's a great point. The burn damage from the red buff really really can help you win that top lane.
As well as just the simple ability to spam your abilities
Yeah,
using that blue buff without having to worry about your mana. So
that's true. Now we're getting towards the second buffs. Around 7 to 8 minutes is normally when buffs start coming back up. You see Kha'Zix is already ready for the blue buff, so he'll probably give that over to Ziggs. Oh, here we go, Garen coming in, but he's only level 5, so I don't think without his ultimate, or maybe. Oh, but Zach's passive.
Yeah, got the passive.
If Garen had waited until he was level 6 there, he probably would have been able to secure a kill. But not being level 6, he didn't have that execute ultimate. That Garen just makes him so powerful. Kha'Zix actually didn't hand the blue buff off to Ziggs. He kept it for himself. That's probably because he's behind. He's already a little bit behind Lee Sin. And as a jungler, you really need to keep up. And a big part of that is taking your own buffs sometimes because they're worth so much golden experience. But bot lane, a big deal is actually Lucian is up 10 farm on Ezreal this early in the game. And that's actually a pretty big deal. Being up 10 to 12 farm this early is a pretty substantial gold lead.
I was going to say we'll take a look at the gold lead, except for not only is he up by 10 farm, but he's also up by 2 kills.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold.
He's actually got a 700 gold difference there.
Yeah. He's got, and if you just look at the items in lane, Ezreal only has a Vamp Scepter, while Lucian has a BF Sword already. If they were to trade at all, Lucian would just easily win. Without a doubt, unless they made some fatal mistake. Lee Sin coming in for this gank up top, but it looked like it was warded and Garen was able to get out of there safely. Kha'Zix is getting his red buff right now, which could mean that he could go for a gank soon and possibly do very well.
They're about to meet each other here.
Lee Sin up top, he does have his ultimate, if he kicks him back. He got silenced by Garen. Oh, great counter gank by Kha'Zix, but Lee Sin was able to use his ultimate to get him out of there. Kha'Zix came in for the execute on Lee Sin, but Zach was able to use his ultimate to knock him away. Lee Sin coming back in. Garen trying to get the 1-for-1 trade.
Getting out, and that Ignite is going to do it.
A flash by Zach. Wow. That was really well played by Lee Sin. Just sticking around, just thinking maybe there's a chance I can come back in and help in this fight, and it ended up paying off greatly. The Garen ultimate almost killed him, but not quite, so that was a really, really good fight for Zach, Quantum Penguins. Now looking at mid lane, now that Anivia has her ultimate and blue buff, I'm going to say this lane is just going to start shoving towards Ziggs.
Oh, yeah.
And Anivia is really just going to take control of the lane. Because once Anivia gets that ultimate, he can just start dealing so much damage to his lane opponent. So it looks like Quantum Penguins has a pretty good grasp on this game, at least in the early game. Oh, Ziggs coming aggressive here. Let's see if he can make anything of it. He uses his ultimate. Oh, but a flash dodge by Anivia. And also Ziggs burned his barrier. It didn't block anything.
No.
That was just kind of a poorly timed barrier. But Kha'Zix coming in, trying to get a kill on Anivia.
And Lee Sin is right there to respond.
Oh, wow. That was a great play by Lee Sin. Showing up at the right place at the right time.
This Lee Sin has been calling every one of Kha'Zix's moves. Exactly.
Since the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
He got that first kill, and he's just been all over Kha'Zix this entire game. An 0-4 Kha'Zix is not a pretty sight, because Kha'Zix really likes to be that hyper carry that is supposed to be getting a lot of kills early game through assassinations and stuff, and he's just not able to do it because Lee Sin is always there. Oh, Lee Sin coming in bot lane. They might try for a tower dive, but against a Taric, that's really, really scary. One stun. Oh my goodness, what a great Q by Lee Sin. That was, wow. He is just everywhere today. He's having a great game.
Yeah, he is. And he actually handed that kill off to Lucian.
No way. No. That
No,
was
Lucian
I
already
think
had
he ended
two.
up getting-
Lucian
yeah, he
already
already
had
had
two.
2 kills. So
You're right.
But Lucian was, I think, able to get an assist on it. I guess he was able to get a couple of the shots from the culling.
I think the culling did get through a couple times.
Yeah,
and,
to give him the assist there.
Yep.
And there's no way that individual team could have seen that coming. That was a fantastic gank. Now individual team, wow, this is a brave move. Really well timed. Going for Dragon because they saw that bot lane just had to recall, which means that there's no one to contest it. Ziggs comes from mid. That was a really, really good call, and that actually keeps them in this game.
Yep.
Dragon is a huge deal for trying to stay in games that you're behind. If you can control Dragon, it can give you really a good gold lead. Now we see Lucian coming back to lane with a Bloodthirster. He's up 30 CS and 2 kills on this Ezreal. That is a lot of gold. And Ezreal's not even finished his Bloodthirster, and Lucian is. Yeah, that's a huge difference in lane, and I don't think there's any way that Ezreal can even really stay in lane. They might try to push this tower down. We'll see.
Well, he's only got half the gold he needs to finish that Bloodthirster off.
Oh, now this blue buff, it does look like Kha'Zix is going to hand off to Ziggs, which is a huge help for Ziggs. If Ziggs is trying to shove the lane, being able to just spam his Q makes a huge difference. So there it is, Ziggs taking the blue buff. Kha'Zix has kind of caught up in level a little bit, although he's still level 7. He's able to hand off those buffs without having to risk falling farther behind.
Lee Sin just finished red buff. Kha'Zix going on this. Oh boy.
Yeah, he needs to be really careful. Here comes the calling from Lucian, but Tart coming in. Tart's really by himself. He has no one there to follow up the stun. Really, that gank could have worked, I think, if they had worked all at the same time.
Yeah.
Finally, they got a gank off where Lee Sin wasn't there, though he is there now. But they all went in one at a time. Kha'Zix went in, left. Ezreal went in, left, and then Tart. They do have to be careful, though, because Lee Sin is here and could try to dive them under tower. Now, Anivia just had to back, apparently, and Ziggs is now pushing down mid lane pretty hard. Able to get some good damage on the mid tower, but it looks like Lee Sin was thinking about coming, but... Oh, that ward and river. Oh, jeez. Kha'Zix trying to fight. Can he get away? He needs to... Oh, he fail flashed. Right into that wall. That's rough. That
hurts. It always hurts.
Kha'Zix he's having a bad game, and it hurts to watch. Just because I've been there, you get killed in your own jungle early, lose your double buffs, and everything goes downhill from there. It's rough but he's just got to keep a level head and not let it affect him, and just kind of wait until late game, because Lee Sin isn't really that scary late game. He isn't like a hyper carry. He's more of a support-like jungler in the fact that he shields and kind of uses his ultimate to displace the opponent. He doesn't really deal a lot of damage, so it's not as bad.
He can do a little bit of the assassination thing, taking out a carry or something. But Kha'Zix specializes in that. Kha'Zix is gonna if he catches a carry out, the carry is just wiped off the map.
Yeah, a 5-0 Kha'Zix would be way scarier than a 5-0 Lee Sin. Just because, yeah, Lee Sin can do damage, but that's not his job. His job is to be annoying, to get in there and help his teammates get kills. If those kills had gone to the laners, to Ziggs or to
oh, there it is. That's a good game. Look at that.
There it is. The difference with this gank is that Kha'Zix was actually counter-ganking Lee Sin instead of the other way around, which really gave him a really clear advantage in that fight.
And I don't know if I agree with Garen right there. Garen taking both of those kills. I think I would have wanted to start putting some kills on my Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I mean, Garen is a tank, so obviously these kills will head towards better items and stuff, and that might give him an advantage in lane against this Zac, but it's not gonna... This Kha'Zix is still so far behind, and they need to fix that.
The kills on that Garen aren't gonna lead to more kills. The kills on the Kha'Zix will start that snowball effect, and the Kazakhs will start getting more and more and more kills out of that.
I have to say, I don't really know how individual team is keeping up in gold right now. They're behind. They're only down 300 gold, and they're down what 5 kills. That seems absolutely great. Wow, what a kill by Lee Sin. That was perfectly executed. That is a QRQ combo by Lee Sin there, and just finished off Garen. But yeah, I don't know how they're keeping up in gold. Being down 6 kills, they're still only down what 500 gold. I mean, yeah, they got 1 dragon, but they don't have any more towers, and their AD carry is down 75. I don't understand how they're at all staying in this game, but apparently they are.
They all took gold per 5 runes.
Yeah, something weird. I have no idea. I've absolutely. Although I have to say, Kha'Zix is farming better than Lee Sin. He's got 20 more farm, but that's not. You know.
Let's take a look. Let's compare them. Zac is about 1,000 farm down from, or 1,000 gold down from Garen.
Yeah.
Lee Sin is actually up about 1,200 gold up from Kha'Zix because of those kills. We got about even in the mid lane.
The big gold differential is actually between Alistar and Taric. If you look at that, it's about 1,000 gold difference in between the supports. I don't know the difference. Maybe I see that Taric bought a Sightstone and what's that, Targon's?
Ooh,
no,
Lee Sin is just melted there. And there's Kha'Zix getting a kill. Someone's by themselves. He's jumped out on it. Although the passive is up.
Yeah,
so
the Anivia egg saved your life that time.
Doesn't quite get the kill there, but now you finally got a kill on your Kha'Zix. He'll be able to go back now. He's been holding on to that.
He's just trying to finish off his jungle item.
Yeah,
I just realized it is 19 minutes into the game. He doesn't even have his jungle item yet, and that is huge with trying to get gold generation on a jungler. Oh wow! What a play by Quantum Penguins. They used the culling and the Q or the ultimate from Anivia to not only get a kill on Kha'Zix but also to steal the dragon. That is a really good play and really good just communication in the team.
Suddenly they're 2,000 gold up.
Yeah, that is a huge deal, and they might even be able to push this mid tower down if they do it right.
So let's see, we've got Garen up top. He's now finished his Sunfire Cape, and he started into a BF sword. This Garen not going the full tank build that I might have expected. He's actually trying to build some of that AD.
Yeah, I don't know. He has a BF sword. I guess he got sick and tired of not being able to trade with his Zac, who has MOBA boots. There's some weird builds going on. I don't know. I mean, I don't play Zac a lot anymore, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah. I don't know how MOBA boots are really going to help you a whole lot.
Well, I was going to say, sometimes you see those MOBA boots on champions who have the engage, but typically those are hooks, like a Blitzcrank. Sometimes you see a Thresh with MOBA boots.
Oh, great gank coming in from Lee Sin and Zac. They were able to bait Garen down a little bit, and then Lee Sin was able to use Zac to jump in and use his Q to finish off Garen there, and he actually gave the kill to Zac, which will help Zac a lot in finishing. I can't quite tell what he's trying to build with that array of items. You'd expect to see something initially tanky, like a Warmogs or something coming out of Zac, possibly a Spirit Visage eventually, but I don't know what he's trying to build now.
I was gonna say, against a Garen, yeah, he's gonna build some armor, but at some point he's really gonna want that Spirit Visage in order to help with his healing passive of those blocklets.
Yeah.
So
now we have Purple Team pushing down mid lane pretty hard, but it looks like Quantum Penguins is really there to answer. Good poke onto Lucian, able to force him back, and he's actually having to recall, which is a big deal. They might be able to use that to get the tower. The reason why they're able to do so well at sieging this is because the Ziggs has blue buff, which means he can just spam all of his abilities and clear those waves so fast. Really, there are a few champions that are good at sieging and anti-sieging as Ziggs. He is really, really good at it. Now they're trying to catch Alistar out. That's not really going to happen. They have pretty good ward coverage. I have to admit, both teams. Blue team has 3 pinks on the map. That's really, really solid. They have 3 well-placed defensive pinks that are going to be there for a while, and they're going to be very, very useful. Kha'Zix getting really aggressive, jumping in on the Alistar, but Lee Sin was able to try to chase after Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix was able to finish him off. Ziggs might be able to get Alistar, but Alistar flashes over the wall. Ziggs now trying to escape the calling from Lucian, and the Anivia throws down the wall, throws down the ult. Wasn't able to finish it off. Are they going to be able to
Anivia is so low.
No, the bounce from Ziggs stops them from able to make any more distance on the Anivia.
You always hate when you watch someone from the other team just walk away with a sliver of life.
Sliver of health. And you're like, why don't I have a global? You're like, I just want to be... I don't know, maybe Ezreal had already used his ultimate, I guess, in the fight. If he had it at the end there, he probably could have been able to pick him off.
You know, I didn't see it, but it is on cooldown right now.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't see it either, but missed opportunity. But yeah, I just want to talk about those pink wards again. I love pink wards. Like, if you're going to be using wards in a defensive area like this tri-bush up top, buying a pink ward is so much more cost efficient because you know that ward is going to be there for way more than 3 minutes. So buying a pink ward means that you can keep it there for as long as you need it, and it'll sit there until someone walks into that bush, which means that it was used for its purpose and killed it. So I think that's a lot more cost efficient, and I think it's really cool that Blue Team now has 4 of them on the map.
Although it looks like they may lose one here.
Yeah, might lose one. Oh, Taric walks right over it, and now is placing his own, but he did walk over a ward that he could see and did not kill it. Oh, he needs to get out of there. He was in a bad situation.
I'm not sure what he
felt that. Oh, he made the right decision.
I'm not sure. He threw that stun out as if he thought that was gonna... Maybe he saw his team there and thought that they would come around and help him out.
Yeah, I don't know. We do have Garen split pushing top lane. He's probably going to try to get that tower down, and I don't see any way that Quantum Penguins can really stop him.
Zach's going to try to get there.
No, he gave it up. It was pretty low health already. But we do have Blue Team setting up behind Purple Team. Alistar and Anivia might look like they're trying to come in for the flank. Zach engaging, coming in with the bounce. Alistar coming in, headbutt on the Ziggs. Ezreal is already really low, having to run away. Zach is chasing. Almost gets the kill. Ezreal is barely away. Is Ezreal going to be able to escape? Ziggs is clearly going to die. Oh, they let Ziggs get away. Chasing after Ezreal. Ziggs gets away. Alistar headbutts him to freedom. Oh my goodness, they let Ziggs get out of that. I cannot believe that. But that was a fantastic engage by Quantum Penguins. They saw Garen top, knew that it was a 4-on-5, came in with the flank. That was just beautiful textbook engaged by Quantum Penguins. Now Garen trying to go in 1 versus 5, trying to man mode it. I don't think he's going to be able to make it out. Oh, just a little tankier than I thought.
He just wanted to remind them that he has a BF sword.
Right, and he deals damage.
Actually, now that he's taken the pickaxe, it's almost as if he's trying into an Infinity Edge with that.
That would be okay. I mean, again, I don't play Garen. I don't know, but if I were to say with this team comp, you have an assassin, you have a squishy AD carry, a squishy AP carry, and a Taric who I guess is kind of tanky for support, but not really.
Is there
you need a tank.
Is there anything else that builds out of a BF sword and the pickaxe?
No. I mean, he could be building 2 things at the same time, but that would be really inefficient. So yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you that it's probably going to be an Infinity Edge. And yeah, he'll be dealing a lot of damage, but he won't be nearly as tanky. Kha'Zix going in trying to kill the Alistar. Really not the target you want to focus, but the Garen ultimate able to finish off the Alistar. Oh, Zach coming back in for the re-engage by Quantum Penguins. He was able to get out of there alive, but had to sacrifice his teammate's life in exchange. And that's going to be a free dragon for Quantum Penguins. So out of these 2 team comps, which ones do you think is like more solid late game? I'm inclined, the way that they're building, I'm inclined to think Quantum Penguins, only in the fact that Zach is actually building tanky. I think Garen needs to be a tank. And well, yeah, that Infinity Edge, which he did just finish, is going to be awesome and cool, and he might get some kills, but
It was just pointed out in chat that his E actually can't crit. So he's got a
Oh,
whole
his-
ability.
Yeah, his spin to win, man.
That's-
It's.
Yeah, that's hitting over and over and over, but that Infinity Edge isn't helping you on that.
I mean, you've already got a lot of damage coming out of Ezreal and Ziggs, and you've got a lot of AoE damage coming out of Ziggs. You don't need Garen dealing damage. You need Garen soaking up damage. You know, being in the front line, just being annoying. Silencing their Lucian. That can do so much to slow down Lucian's damage output, just to silence him. Oh, Ziggs might be able to get a kill here on Lee Sin. Oh wow, he was able to finish him off.
Okay.
Had to use the barrier for the culling, but that was a great 1 versus 1 kill.
I was gonna say, in that instance, either the Tark or the Kha'Zix could have gotten between Ziggs and that culling
Yeah.
in order to soak
Yeah,
up some of that
definitely.
damage.
Yeah.
I was a little bit selfish on their part,
Yeah.
but in the end, they all made it out alive, and so that was a good kill. Good kill to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, the individual team is really, they're staying in this game. They're doing a pretty good job of understanding, you know, we can't really push past River, although Tark getting a little aggressive. Oh, Garen. They're doing a good job of staying back on their side of the map, you know, getting a kill here and there, and then, you know, just accepting that. They didn't try to force the contest on that last dragon. They said, okay, they get this dragon, that's fine. And they just stepped back and kept playing. And I think that's going to keep them in this game if they keep the mentality of just, you know, one pick off at a time. We don't need to fight them straight on. But yeah, so which team do you see doing better, just their team comp in the late game?
You know, I would have gone towards individual team until their tank decided not to be the tank.
That's my issue. You need a solid, well-rounded team comp. That Tarek is sitting on top of the ward. He's so placed. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna get done there. You know, you need a solid tank, and yeah, you're gonna get Arma from the aura of Tarek. Yeah, I mean, Garen's naturally, you know, kind of tanky, but I think that Infinity Edge would have been way better getting I don't know,
Sorry, I read chat wrong earlier. He says that E does crit, so each one of those could be critting.
I mean, I understand that. Okay, I get that. But
I still don't see that as a necessity. I feel like
if he starts building pure tank from here, maybe having one damage item. I just don't think he should have built it so early. Especially because laning phase ended. If he was still trading with Zac, it would have made a big difference.
Yeah.
I think. Oh geez, what a great wall by Anivia. She blocked off 3 members of individual team, leaving Tarek and Garen all by themselves. Fantastic pickoff by Quantum Penguins. That was a great Anivia wall. Just cut the team in half, and just now they're going to be able to get this bottom turret off.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Not sure. Oh, he was trying. Lee Sin tried to flash past there in order to get the kick back. Didn't quite get it and ended up actually kicking him back into their own base.
Now, Quantum Penguins has a decent amount of gold right now. They've got 3 members with over 1,000 gold. I kind of think they need to back, regroup, and then maybe think about looking to Baron. Send maybe one person bot to split push and just force the Baron. They have control of this game. They're up about 5,000 gold, which is a sizable lead. And I think if they play it right, they could easily get Baron, push down mid, and finish this game pretty easily. But instead, they're going to push mid tower, and they were able to pick out Tarek. Again, Tarek has this whole game been a little too far forward. And I don't know, he seems to be trying to push it. Like maybe he's used to playing more aggressive supports, perhaps this Thresh and Leona that were banned out, and he's not used to, you know, how Tarek really isn't too much of a playmaker. You know, he's kind of there as more of a support, less of a playmaker, but he's playing it more like a playmaker. Now, individual team does have to push out here because they're trying to defend this second tier turret. But I don't know how successful that defense is going to be, especially because Ezreal had to go bot to push back bot lane. This should be a turret for Quantum Penguins.
You know what I was just realizing is a Tarek Garen front line is actually a really substantial. If Garen had gone full tanky with Tarek's buff on top of him,
oh yeah, that's a lot of armor.
He could be soaking up so much of that AD.
Oh, they do not want to be engaging here. That looks like 1 kill on Garen. And Kha'Zix's lucky to get out of there alive. They did not want to fight there. Obviously, Alistar did a great headbutt pulverize. If you're ever able to get a headbutt into a wall like that, it's really a really great initiate for your team. Ezreal's finally able to make his way over. I don't know why he stopped. He should be coming over to help his team here. He's just trying to be careful, I think. What could be heading his way?
Kha'Zix was looking to try to pick someone out, I guess, but...
Lee Sin passing the blue buff off to Anivia. That blue buff on Anivia is so helpful. She can practically sit there with her ult just up all the time when she has blue buff. When normally it costs a lot of mana. Lucian, it's getting individual teams blue buff. That means they have both. Really going to help him in the next team fight. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught up by Kha'Zix here. They're trying to get this dragon, but might choose to back off because it's only a 4-on-4, 4-on-5, and blue team hasn't backed and bought yet since they've gotten all their gold. Lee Sin really low. They're able to focus him. A great Ziggs ult lands on 3 of them.
Kha'Zix went fully for it, but the rest of his team didn't really follow.
Yeah,
So
they didn't have a really great focus. Garen is going to be able to pick off this Alistar, but if they had focused better, I feel like the individual team could have easily gotten 3 kills there. Yeah, and I feel like that was really an ill-advised dragon by Quantum Penguins because they're now giving up bot tower because of that. They didn't. They traded a kill for a kill, and that's just allowing individual team to slowly work their way back into this game. They were sitting with more than 1,000, 2,000 gold in their pockets, and so that's gold they hadn't spent on items, and yet they still went for the dragon. I just think that was really a poor choice, and yeah, individual team was kind of able to take advantage of it. Although I think they could have done a little bit better job.
Now, to be fair, even if with them not spending 4,000 gold, that still puts them 6,000 gold over the team.
Oh, definitely.
Or 2,000 gold over the team.
Definitely. But it was also almost a 4v5.
It was.
Trying to get this tower down. Ziggs throwing his ult back up there again. He needs to be really careful. Zac engaging from the back. A great engage. Knocking Ezreal. Ezreal's able to flash out of the fight though. Stay alive. Although they might, looks like they're going to be able to use Tarek.
Tarek looks like he's going to go down.
Kha'Zix does not want to engage here. Okay, he's able to get out. Now, purple team's gonna have to work really hard to try to hold this tower because there are all 5 members of Quantum Penguins still alive, still fully healthy. Garen needs to back up or he is going to be taken out. Lee Sin diving deep for this Ezreal. Kha'Zix trying to answer, gets kicked back by the Lee Sin ult. Kha'Zix still wants this Lee Sin. He wants revenge on all of those kills Lee Sin got earlier this game. I don't think he's gonna get it.
No.
They're just too strong right now. Pushing down the inhibitor tower.
He wasn't picking someone off by himself. He had Alistar right there next to him. So
yeah.
His passive ability
really needs to isolate people. That is where he thrives. And Quantum Penguins backing off. Very smart decision to back off. Again, they have a lot of gold in their pockets, and they could easily go and spend it. They might choose to Baron, but I don't think that's really a smart decision here. They might try to do a bait though, because if individual thinks they're baroning, they might come and try to fight, and if they're hiding in a bush, they can take advantage of individual team. But it looks like they're just going to opt back. Yes, they spotted the pink ward. Good work, Lee Sin. Actually spotting a pink ward. Quantum Penguins has done a pretty good job this entire game of just growing their gold lead. They had a 4,000 or 5,000 gold lead probably, 10 minutes ago, and they've just slowly been building it. And now here they are with almost a 10,000 gold lead, and that is substantial at this time to be up that much. And again, Tarek's really far forward, although it looks like they're trying to go for the Baron. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. They're trying to burn it down, but Zax comes in. He's going to bounce all over purple team. Is purple team going to be able to finish the Baron? They're trying as hard as they can. They get the Baron.
They got it.
Oh my goodness. Can they stay alive? That's the question. It doesn't look like it. Ziggs flashes out. Garen has the Guardian Angel, but he's going to go down as soon as he comes back up. Oh my goodness,
They
that
managed
was
to walk away with two
ideal.
people still with the buff active.
Yeah, now, I think they gained a little bit on the gold lead, but the problem is that just leaves a tower completely open to Quantum Penguins to just come in and take that top tower, no questions. They might even be able to get another one depending on how fast they take this down. I mean, you got to take risks when you're behind, but
I think
that
it
one
would have
just-
been a better risk to have waited
Team's turret
for
has been destroyed.
individual Quantum Penguins to have initiated it and tried to steal it
Right.
and cause that to
Right.
snowball you.
Yeah, the debuff you get while doing Baron is substantial. An AoE ult like Ziggs can really ruin a team when they're doing Baron. And I think they could have taken better advantage of that. Oh, they're trying to push for this inhibitor, though. I think this is where Individual needs to try to make a stand. If they lose 2 inhibitors, there's little chance of them coming back. Kha'Zix's diving into the Zac. Not the best target. Focus. He's going to go down instantly. Turret goes down instantly. Ezreal's trying to take out Zac. He does take out Zac. Garen dealing good damage because of that
Ziggs
Infinity
down.
Edge, but Ziggs is dead. It's up to Ezreal and Garen to win this.
Garen appears to be going
Garen
down.
tries to ult Anivia, but the Anivia egg saves her life. And that is a 4-for-0 for Quantum Penguins, and I don't see any way that Ezreal can hold this off. That is most likely going to be GG for Quantum Penguins.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
And the Nexus goes down. There you go, good game. Quantum Penguins wins game 1. And like we said earlier, this is a best out of 3, so they'll be playing at least one more game.